Take a closer look at Alabama here. Look, with Alabama, the expectations are always sky high. You've got the schedule, which obviously is extraordinarily favorable, as was discussed. So what are the expectations for Bama this year?
I've said this. Their season really starts December 7th in the SEC championship game. And they should be in the college football playoff, and they should honestly be in the national title game. It's an interesting – they got whooped in the title game last year by Clemson. And I can't recall a time that a Nick Saban team just got physically whooped on the field. And they bring in a new offensive coordinator with Steve Sarkisian, and I know they have a ton of talent on the outside at wide receiver, and I know Tua is amazing. But I think they're going to go back in time a little bit. Like, I think this team's going to go back to dominating the ground game. They're going to have a very good defensive line, but they want their offensive line to be like the face of their program in a way. And I think Nick Saban built this program with big backsides in a way, you know? And I think he wants to go back to that where just they are going to pound the football, still hit a bunch of big plays downfield. But I can see them not being as spread out and pass happy. I mean, 62% of their offense last year was from the pass game. I honestly don't think Nick Saban wants to play ball like that.
Hold on a second. Can I go back to something, to your question about expectations in Alabama? I hear what you're saying about the SEC championship and all that. I've spent a lot of time in Tuscaloosa. There is one expectation. That is win the Natty. That's it. Yeah. They're not satisfied with going to SEC champion. They've been there, done that. With Nick Saban there, especially at this age, not knowing what's coming next, right now, it's natty or nothing.
And so you have to talk, you were talking, Dan, about how long has it been since they got whooped like that? You have to go back to 2013 when they got beat up by Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl and lost that game by 2 touchdowns. And that's when Nick couched as well. We didn't make the championship. Our guys really didn't care. Oklahoma put a beating on them, but a lot of it was through the air. It wasn't that physical style beating. And defensive coaches, they have a big bravado. They do not like to be beat up front. Yeah. As much as you can talk about throwing the ball, Nick Saban at heart, he wants to pound the football. And so I do agree with you. I think they'll take shots over the top. That offensive line's big. The defense, this is where he doesn't want to be embarrassed again.
Quickly, all that said, he's never had a quarterback like this. Do you expect Tua Tagovailoa to have a season that puts him in the discussion to be the #1 pick? Actually, let me rephrase that. Will he be the #1 pick in next year's draft?
No.
All right, then.
I would love you to expand on that.
I think that this team's going to play a little bit differently this year, and I don't think they're going to be so reliant on Tua and his performance. And I can't sit here and tell you that Tua has performed against teams that have been as equally talented across the line. Until I see Tua do that, I'm certainly not going to take him #1 in the as an NFL organization. There's also a bunch of other quarterbacks that are going to be coming out. So right now, no.
Yeah, to Sam's point, I agree with everything you said going back to the very beginning. Their season doesn't begin until everyone else's season is basically over.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.